Thank you for joining our podcast, and let's start with some, you know, let's say, personal questions.
Sure.
Can you share with us your journey into sales and what led you to become the sales director of Senstar for this part of Europe, for eastern part of Europe?
Again, thank you for having me. I was very happy to that you have this kind of initiative on this event. I'd be happy to answer your question. Why I became sales director for Eastern Europe? Um it's a matter of energy. So basically, I'm an IT guy. I'm an engineer. I try to do my job to be like programmer or system designer. But I prefer to work with customers, with people, and it's what made me more happy is to travel and to solve people's problems, making solutions for them. So with fantastic products that we have. So that's how the journey started, and step by step, going through several different companies, learning, gaining experience. That's the place I'm here now, and I'm extremely happy to be with Senstar.
Okay. I know so many IT guys that moved to sales, and their performance is incredible. So that's very interesting. Uh, who has been a mentor or inspiration in your career? Everyone has mentors. So who
Yeah,
is
this
your
this might
ideal guy?
this might sound strange, but actually it's my mom because she's now
That's great.
retired, and she was a director in a bank, and I could see her career like through the whole thing, and I've seen how people treated her. So she was always a kind of a role model for me because she was always fighting for her team. She was not like using any, let's say, dictatorship, but it was more like a mother to their team, to her team, and what was happening. So when she was moving forward to like another position in another place, another bank, her team was trying to follow her, like, please take me with you, and that was for me, that was crazy. They loved her, and the performance of the team was the best in the country. So it was like a regional part of bank operations. I will not necessarily share which part, but that was amazing. So for me that was an inspiration, and I thought that I want to be this kind of a person that people will like follow. Like they will not feel threatened. It's like create something together, to be taken care of, to have a proper well-being, balanced life and work, to be treated properly, and people will love that. And so that's her. That's my mom.
Uh, I hope your mom will have a chance to listen to this
I will
podcast.
definitely show this to
And
her.
it's amazing being mom is so important, and family is a great corporation to be managed. So your role model is a very good one, and as to approach to building and maintaining relationships with clients, do you have something to share with us in that concern?
Uh, this is as many as there are people. Everybody's different. I'm also different. There are probably people that don't like me. There are definitely are people that don't like me. But I'm sure that the key to success is just being honest. Like if you have something that doesn't work, tell about it. Also responsiveness. So be responsive to your customers. So make them feel like they are priority number one, because they are, and that's the only key for me. So there is no special magical solution or recipe.
And before we move to the portion related to sensor and your products, just how you handle your professional and private responsibilities. What are your hobbies, interests? Just
Okay.
before this podcast, we talked about basketball and sports in your country. Just
Yeah, so that's
quick
completely,
share, yeah.
basketball is completely not my thing. So I'm a lucky person. This company is really amazing. So the how the structure is done is like basically weekend is saint. So nobody really bothers anyone on the weekend. So try to spend time with the family. We have time for the hobbies. I shoot long range with the rifles, and some dynamic shooting with guns, and I do cycling. I When I have time, I go make some kilometers on my gravel bike, and when I have time, I also climb. So this is like I need to release my internal energy, which there's plenty
So
of.
extreme guy.
Nah, no, this is not. This is safe stuff. This is
Safe,
like it's
okay.
always about the safety. So I'm not, to be honest, this is not a risky. Nothing out of it is risky. It's all still in the safety zone.
We talk about safety now. Let's move into the security area.
All right.
So for over 4 decades, Senstar has been protecting thousands of sites around the world. What are the key milestones in Senstar's history that have shaped its development and as a leader in security solutions?
So, as you mentioned, 4 decades, that's basically 43 years, and the main focus was always perimeter. The company went through different, let's say, stages, so there were several acquisitions on the way. As you know, or maybe you don't know, we have probably the biggest portfolio of different technologies for the perimeter protection on the market. That means that most of the companies they focus on one or two different technologies. We basically have most of them. Plus, we develop our new technologies that probably we'll talk about further. Uh, but during these 43 years, we've been there were some acquisitions, including company called Stellar. There was company called I think Optelios, and of course Imetis. So each one of these companies was brought to the company with like different kind of technologies. So Stellar was all about, I think, electromagnetic sensors. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong. It's been a very long time ago. And there is Optelios, which was the fiber optic detection part that we now, of course, we've been developing, and this is a very big part of our offering. And there is Imetis, which we acquired, I think, 8 or 9 years ago, which is a VMS company. Now it's Senstar Symphony platform that we offer together with our hardware. So during this time, there were several acquisitions that were growing our portfolio, and I think that's where we are now. So right now we are developing our own solutions like from a scratch, not like trying to compare with others, but we have some new stuff that has just came out on the market.
Oh, let's talk about these new solutions. So tell us more about your portfolio. What is it consisted of at the moment?
Oh, there's a lot of different things. I always say that I divide it into three groups. So the things that go on the fence, the things that go on the ground, and underground, and the things that are beneath. So like microwave barriers, which are neither on the fence or neither underground. So on the fence, we have different lines of products depending on what the customer faces on the site. We can provide fiber optic systems. We have systems that are also based on the cable detection, but they are non-fiber optic. We have another technology which incorporates the perimeter protection with the lighting, LED lighting, which is also interactive. We have a lot of different elements that are like gap fillers for gates, like wireless gate sensor. From the things that go in the ground, there are, I mentioned Omnitrax, that is a volumetric sensor, and we can also go with the fiber optic detection system for buried perimeters. On top of that, we have just introduced multi-sensor, which is our new device that incorporates different technologies in one device, and we have a LiDAR. And on top of all of it, we have software that puts it all together. Of course, you can use our perimeter systems with your own software. For instance, if you write your software, you can use your own, maybe a third party, maybe there is some known brand that you would like to use. So everything's put together in this way. So that's more or less our offering. Of course, there is a lot of details into like each group of products, but it's very wide, and there is so many different technologies that you can use, and we are here to help, of course, our customers to select the proper one for their project.
It's obvious that you didn't have a boring time during your 43 history, and
No.
therefore you have such wide, so many products to offer. So now, establishing a secure perimeters is the first step in keeping critical sites and infrastructure safe. But the fences and other physical barriers do not guarantee the site's security, because an intruder can bypass them quickly. That's where the combination of different kinds of sensors kicked into the play, isn't it?
Yeah, that's this is very important because a lot of people say like, okay, I can protect my perimeter just with the video analytics. Some people say that I can protect it with just the perimeter sensors. So my personal opinion, and also this is the direction we are going to, is like it's a hybrid system that mixes all the possible technologies that you have are available, selecting some of them and mixing them. And let's say main ingredients are the physical sensors and video detection and video observation all together. We have something called sensor fusion, which actually puts these two things together, which makes it so much easier to, let's say, there is nothing more annoying than an operator that has a lot of false alarms or nuisance alarms because there are wild animals, there is some wind, and he's just checking it out. So he can miss the proper alarm that is actually popping out there. So our, let's say, ultimate goal is to make customer happy by having just the alarms that are real alarms. So then everything stays quiet. So that's why mixing technologies like video plus the physical sensors together with, for instance, the AI-based analytics that we have under the name Sensor Fusion, that I would say that it's like an ultimate solution for like protecting the perimeter, and of course a solid fence as a deterrent or like a delay factor for the attacker is definitely there. I would add one thing to that, my personal, let's say, how I would build a perfect perimeter is I would definitely put something on the fence, but I would put something invisible further. So once the person has passed the fence, as you mentioned, this is like, this happens pretty quickly. So they can cut, go, okay, they get detected, but what then? So to ensure that this person is inside, we could put another like underground buried perimeter system further away from the fence to ensure that this has happened. Because of course, not everywhere you can have cameras. We have systems that there are tens of kilometers where there is no infrastructure. There is just a fiber optic sensor that can tell you that there was something happening on the fence, like trying to tell you like, okay, somebody was climbing, somebody was cutting the fence. But just mixing all this together is the ultimate solution for having the right information in the right time.
Yes, quite challenging. What are the capabilities of these security sensing technologies, and to what extent can they diminish false alarm rate?
So this has been a problem for a long time. So now with the growth of processing power and the things that you could put at relatively low cost in your processing units, all the devices, including cameras, are getting more and more intelligent. So you want to, as I mentioned, the ultimate goal is to not only not have a false alarms, but there are alarms that are not relevant, which are nuisance alarms. So for instance, if there is a deer, sorry to say, but like scratching his back on the fence, it will generate an alarm, but you don't want to be bothered with that because he's basically not going through. He's just there, minding his own business. So you want to find a way to like reject this. So you don't want the deer to be on your screen and the systems going crazy. What you want to do is like you want to verify that alarm. So let's say your deer scratching his back on the fence is like raising an alarm from the fence sensor, but you have a camera, and there should be like in our sensor fusion, the camera should check on this section there is something happening. I will check what's that, and the right camera is checking this section. Is checking. Okay, I found an object which is not a human, it's something else, it's an animal, but it's exactly at the location of this alarm. So, in my opinion, we should ignore this alarm. So that is intelligent. That is what comes with the increased computing power, increased processing power, the AI, the analytics on the next level. So combining all this together gives you a reliable source of alarms in any conditions. So whenever there is like let's say there is a fog, so your camera cannot say if it's a deer or not. So it will change your, priorities on, okay, I don't see anything, so we should maybe trust the sensor on the fence, right? So there are different situations. So this is where we're heading to, is like going into like a hybrid mode of different technologies, but also being more smart. Because like raising an alarm with like a PIR sensor, like You wave your hand and the lights go up. It's completely it's a stupid system.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
useless.
it's very basic, and then we need something way more sophisticated for the
Yes.
future.
So, what distinguishes the Senstar Symphony Common Operating Platform from other security management systems?
Yeah, I would say I already mentioned sensor fusion. So that's basically the technology that it's like patented Senstar solution. So it's a part. It's actually a you activate it per camera in our platform. So to have it, you need to have our platform, right? So I would say that other things that distinguish our system is that it's extremely reliable. So most of the applications, and I know what kind of projects where this is installed. So I can say that it's in places where the highest possible reliability of software is required. This can be also installed on virtual machines, so the redundancy can be maintained in a very professional way. You can put it on your big server cluster and be protected. So extremely flexible, reliable. It's under constant development, so we are upgrading constantly different elements. We have released in the version, I think 8.6, we have released the brand new video engine. So it's like, so what was in the past, it's like completely, it's like from a scratch. It's like a brand new platform, brand new thing. So totally worth trying.
Working with customers and partners, how can Sensor adapt solutions with the most appropriate technology to address the level of required security and available budget?
This is a very good question, because I faced many situations where the customers, they heard what, I will not point to a particular technology, but they heard like, oh, the name sounds modern and nice, and it sounds like it's the latest technology, the best, and so on. It is, but not for all the applications. And we know we have 43 years of experience of the different projects. And what we're trying to do is, like, with every single project, of course, if we speak to the end customer or the integrator, we can advise what kind of solution would be fitting them the best. Of course, if we know what are their budget limitations, what are the expectations, we can always find, because we have so many different bricks that we can build the perimeter protection system from, that basically sky is the limit. There was a perception some time ago that Senstar is a very expensive company, like that is like, you want the perimeter, you want this to be expensive but also reliable, but expensive, then you go to Senstar. But this is not true. We started talking, when I joined the company, I started talking to customers that actually mentioned that. I was like, okay, so what else do you know from our portfolio? And it turned out that when you start talking about, because there's so many products, you can talk for hours about it, but when you start analyzing what would fit you, you can find something for your budget, even if it's like a very low budget. So not all the projects are like, high budget, government, I would say, like high security places. Sometimes it's a private business that, they don't want to spend a lot of money, but they want to be properly protected. So we can find something that will protect them properly at a, given budget. So talking to us, we are ready for any advisory based on our experience. Happy to help.
Okay, looking ahead, what do you think the future holds for perimeters protection technologies?
So this is basically what we've been talking about. So going further with like being more smart, distinguishing nuisance alarms, like I mentioned, deer scratching his back. It's like we don't want to have that bothering the operator. The operator has got his job to do, and any distraction can result in ignoring the real alarm. So one is the false alarm, which is like alarm caused by something that should not really cause it. Then you have nuisance alarm, so it's like this deer, so there is something, but it's not the thing that we're looking for. And we want to completely eliminate that. So that's the ultimate goal. And the future means that we will be smarter, we'll be using the same technology and some new technologies. Like everybody's developing something new. There is new lidar. We also introduced the lidar. We have the multi-sensor. The others develop other technologies. It's growing. It's going forward, and putting all this together will definitely become an ultimate perimeter protection. I think we are there or very close to be to create the perfect perimeter for every site.
So let's look forward to a future where your industry will not be needed that much. Can we put it that way?
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that, but
Yes.
yeah, let's hope.
Let's hope. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.